What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. This is Trevor, your host. We're here talking about 49er football. Week one's out of the way. Niners got to win, but it wasn't without some costs. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. First, if you would hit the like and the subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And thank you for all the people out there who are my subscribers, who are watching all the time and watching the show. Really appreciate it, guys. Before we start talking about football, I just want to take a moment to speak about the incident with Charlie Kirk the other day. And the reason I'm bringing that up in a sports forum like this is because it is my forum. And I feel like it's something I want to speak about because I think it was a tragedy. And I'm reading a lot of stuff online about people talking back and forth about who the shooter was, if it was somebody who was a Republican, Democrat, extremist. Both sides are claiming that it was the other. There's lots of just crap throwing back and forth about this, and I just want to say one thing. You may not support who Charlie Kirk was. I watched Charlie Kirk weekly. I actually agreed with a lot of his views, not all of them, but a lot of them. He was a religious man. I consider myself the same. And he loved his family. He had kids. I think he lived his life true to his heart. And I really admired that about Charlie Kirk. And one thing I just want to say on this platform is it does not fucking matter who it was that shot Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He shouldn't have been, and he's dead. It doesn't matter if you're on the right side, the left side. We are all Americans here, people. We are all Americans, and there's no incident that happens in this country, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, or the people who are involved in these school shootings are Republicans or Democrats or extremists, or you want to call them whatever you want to call them. It's a tragedy every single time it happens because people are being silenced by what these people are trying to be silenced. These people are trying to silence you by going out and creating this mass hysteria. And it should only make Americans stronger. When something like this happens, you have to feel bad for it. It was a horrible tragedy, and you have to get stronger for it. And I just want to speak to this because I think everybody in America should look at themselves as Americans. When you go and you vote for a president, you vote for who you feel is the best person for the job, not because they're red or they're blue. I vote Democrat, I vote Republican all the time. I happen to be a Republican. That doesn't mean that I vote for Republican every single time the Republican comes up just because they are. I don't. I vote for who I feel is the best fit for the job with the options that I'm presented. I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I'm also not a Donald Trump hater. Do I think he's a good president? So far, I understand we need to get out of debt. And if he's going to help us do that, great. I don't think he's doing a bad job. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to say that. I agree with the fact that you're allowed to disagree with me. But I just keep seeing people talk about this tragedy as if he either deserved it or somehow a forum to point the finger at a Democrat or a Republican and say, see, I told you that's how they are. We're all Americans. We should all be coming together peacefully. And this kind of thing should not be happening no matter what side you're on. You're only on one side, people. Just remember, you're only on one side. That's America's side. That's America first and foremost. Not Republicans, not Democrats. What these people can do for you as an American. You work hard, you get taxed. These people are servants to you, the president, Congress, everybody. They're serving us as an entire community. They're not serving just one side or the other. That's not what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe they do sometimes, but that's not what they're supposed to be doing, and that's not what it's about. So The only way this is going to stop is when everybody comes together and says, enough is enough. No matter what side we're on, we're going to agree to disagree, and we're going to shake hands and be friends. Because that's what they want, guys. And if you don't know who they are, then I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything else. But if you don't know who they are, they want what you're seeing right now. They want us fighting with each other. Some people out there with a lot of power and a lot of money want us to fight. All of us, middle class, lower class, upper class, they want you all to be fighting these stupid, stupid wars against each other so that you can't become better, so that you can't focus on the big picture, which is holding them accountable for making your life and my life better. It's sleight of hand, guys. It's like, look over here while I'm doing this. That's what it is. That is what they want. And they're getting it. They've been successful in the TV commercials that you've seen your whole entire life, telling you what to eat, what to say, what to wear, what to think. And until Americans come together and use their mind to understand what they know is to be true and to be right and to be healthy every single day, they're going to control your mind. But it all comes down to that thing, guys. This is happening because an extremist followed what he heard on the news or followed what he's been watching online and decided to take action in a way that, by the way, is really sad. This kid is like 22 years old, not very smart, not understanding his actions. And if he lives to be 25, I'd be really, really surprised. I'd be really surprised. Because when he shot Charlie Kirk that day and killed Charlie Kirk, he killed himself. Most likely. So guys, my opinion. We're all Americans. We need to love each other. We need to respect each other, regardless of our opinions. I respect your right to have an opinion, even if I don't agree with it. If I disagree with it, it's okay. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I love everybody who's watching my show here. I love everybody who's supporting me. I appreciate it. And now that I got that out of the way, let's talk sports for a little bit. So, 49ers, guys. 49ers got the win in Seattle. I thought Seattle had a really good defense, and I kind of thought that they would, especially after how they ended last season. They ended last season on a high note, especially defensively. So I didn't think this was going to be a pushover win. I did think we were going to win, and luckily we did. But we have a couple issues now, right? So Brock Purdy is out for 2 to 3 weeks with turf toe. And if anybody knows what turf toe is, it is not a small thing. Certain players have had turf toe, and it's ended their careers. I hate to bring up Antonio Brown, but I'm going to bring him up anyway. He had turf toe for the last 3 or 4 years of his career, and it affected him massively. He couldn't play football very well anymore. Turf toe will or can stick with your career the rest of the way. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy's got turf toe, and that takes a while to heal. It's not a 1 week thing, and it may not be even a thing that goes away. Maybe permanent. So Brock Purdy's got an uphill battle a little bit. I do think that they're going to manage it. I think he will be playing football again in 2 weeks or so. But turf toe is not a joke. It's not something that just goes away easily. And so this is kind of a bummer that he's out. George Kittle is out with a hammy. He's out 4 weeks minimum. Minimum 4 weeks, maybe 6. I'm hoping only 4. George Kittle is a quick healer. I think he's going to be back in 4 weeks. We got the New Orleans Saints coming up. I think that's a winnable game anyway. Christian McCaffrey's doing good. No injuries. Ricky Pearsall is looking really, really good for the start of the season. He's running his routes very well, quick, getting open. You can't ask for a better start for him for his first game. Pearsall might be the guy that can hold this thing together with Christian McCaffrey until we get some weapons back. I'm envisioning that we're going to get Ayuk, Kittle back at the same time, and Brock Purdy hopefully back maybe next week or the following week. I'm hoping he's only out 1 week, guys. and it's just like a 2 week, thing where he's back. We'll see. But we got banged up a little bit. Dominic Pooney is not on the injury report list, but he is definitely hurting a little bit. You could tell during the game, and he is the only other offensive line that I kind of linemen that I kind of trust. But like I said, for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months, if the Niners don't upgrade their offensive line, then how are you going to keep your players upright and healthy? And let me tell you, Brock Purdy is running for his life a little bit. And it was only game 1, guys. We're going to see a lot of that. I don't understand why this team doesn't upgrade the offensive line. I don't get it. I don't get it. Tom Brady had a magnificent career. A lot of it is due to a great offensive line. If he didn't have a good offensive line, those performances maybe don't happen quite as much, but he did. It helped. He was still amazing. Don't get me wrong. But when you have an offensive line like that, it matters. You build with the trenches and you build out. So they did that with the defense, but for some reason, the Niners love to ignore the offensive line. I don't get it. You pay a quarterback that much money, why would you not go out and protect them? I don't get it. It's like driving a Ferrari around with no car insurance. It's just stupid. It's just stupid, guys. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But either way, that's where we're at. We got the win. I do think we're going to be playing in New Orleans and getting a win there as well. New Orleans Saints is not a great team. I'd call them kind of on a rebuild. So the Niners, as long as they can hit the ground running with McCaffrey, I think McCaffrey will have more success against the Saints for sure. The reason I say that is I think that the Seattle defense is really, really good. And I think the Niners will have more success against other teams with defenses that aren't as good as Seattle's defense. And so we will see how that goes, but I definitely think the Niners can win this week without Purdy, as long as they got some other weapons, and they do. Jennings is kind of beat up a little bit, but Jennings is going to play. You have Juwan Jennings out there. You got Pearsall. We got Christian McCaffrey. So things are going good. Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback. I don't hate Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones, as far as a backup quarterback goes, is a good, solid backup quarterback. He's good for a couple weeks. I think he's got something to prove. If the guy wants to be a starter in the NFL again, he's going to have to go out there and perform. He's got motivation. I think Mac Jones, you're going to see a pretty decent performance out of. When I saw him play in preseason, other than the interception that I saw that he threw, which wasn't very great, he marched the team down the field many times. I think he's manageable. I think he's serviceable. I think he can get the job done until Brock Purdy is back. And I think Brock Purdy will probably be out a week or two. The coach is saying maybe 3 weeks. I don't know if I would go that far. But again, turf toe is an ugly thing. Google it. Google it, guys. Turf toe it's not a fun thing. It's not a good thing. And if you're a quarterback and you got to run, which Brock Purdy does have to run because his offensive line sucks. So guess what? Brock Purdy's going to be running for his life when he gets back, and he might play in a week and a half from now if he wasn't going to have to run for his life. But turf toe is not a good combination to have when you have to run and be mobile as a quarterback. So it's a bummer, guys. We'll see what happens. I do think, again, that the Niners will come out of New Orleans with a win anyway, and then the next game, I believe, is a home game, so at least we'll be back and ready there. We still got to tread water for another 3 weeks without Kittle being back. And like I said before, I believe that the Niners are going to run their offense between Christian McCaffrey and Kittle. And guess what? In that first game, until Kittle got hurt, that's what they were doing, with a little dose of Pearsall and Jennings here and there. Jennings didn't get his first catch, I don't think, until like the second quarter or something, if I remember correctly. But that's it, guys. It's all about Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. That's the Kittle and McCaffrey show. And if one of them is hurt, it's going to be tough. But we got Jennings. We got Jennings doing all right. Let's see if he can play football. I think he's ready to play. I think he's happy now. Pearsall's coming on. And so, yeah, guys, I like where the Niners are right now as far as the injuries go, because at least it's not at the end of the year. At least it's not at the end of the year. So you don't want it then. If it's going to happen, let's just get it over with now, get the injuries out of the way. But it's not It's not reassuring when your whole year last year was injury plagued and this year starts the same. This year starts the same with players going out getting injured again. I mean, it's a little bit discouraging. But I got some good news. Jake Moody is no longer a 49er. Thank God. I was having PTSD of Mike Kofer. And if you don't know who Mike Kofer is, if you're too young to know, or you just don't know who he is, Google it. But if you're a 49er fan, you certainly remember Mike Kofer if you're in your 40s, like me. Mike Kofer couldn't hit a field goal to save his life. I've been to 49er games where they had lost games because this guy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And guess what? Jake Moody was like the second coming of Mike Kofer, because Jake Moody missed a field goal from like 25 yards away. It was a chip shot, and he missed an extra point in the playoffs. Oh, I'm sorry, in the Super Bowl. And wouldn't you know it, the Niners had to go in overtime because they were tied in that game. The extra point made the difference, guys. The extra point made the difference, and he missed it when we needed it. We actually needed him just to make an extra point. The guy is gone. Thank God. Too much stress watching him try to kick a football. I think almost anybody would be better than him. He landed with the Bears. I don't know. The Bears picked him up almost immediately after he was off waivers. Like, they literally just picked him up today, I think. I can't believe he landed with another team. But we'll see how he does. Who knows? Maybe he'll go out to Chicago, the Windy City, and try and kick a field goal. If he goes out there and he starts making field goals, I'm going to be awfully pissed off, because it's probably really hard to make field goals in Chicago. If you can't do it in San Francisco, you're not doing it in Chicago, probably. But the pressure will be off, because honestly, how good are the Bears anyway? They're not good. They're a train wreck. Their quarterback is already kind of a problem after week 1. So, I mean, maybe he'll go out there and start kicking field goals and doing it, because he knows there's no pressure of going to the playoffs or winning the Super Bowl. That might be what he needs, to just be on a crappy team where nobody gives a shit. That might be it. But, hey, guys, let's just keep our heads up. Niners are winning. As long as they're winning, it doesn't matter how. It was an ugly win. I'm not going to lie. That last touchdown the Niners got, and it bounced off a Seattle player, or almost did. It was almost intercepted, but, it wasn't, luckily. I won't call it a lucky play, but it was definitely tough. That was a tough one. So, guys, let's just keep watching Niners, hoping we're going to get some wins. We'll tread some water and win along the way. And then once we get Ayuk back and we get Kittle back, right? And then we get Brock Purdy back probably before that, all of a sudden, now you're looking at a fully loaded 49er offense. And by the way, the bright point Sunday, to me, was that defense. I mean, Saleh coming back and getting that defense fired up. I'm telling you guys, that defense looked better than last year. A lot better. I'm still not... I'm praying that Bosa has a comeback year. I like Bosa. I've been critical of Bosa, but I do think that if anybody's going to get Bosa back to where he was, it's going to be somebody like Saleh. And Bosa did get a quarterback sack when we needed it at the end of the game just to seal it. And he did that. So, defense is looking good. Corners are looking like they're burnt toast, just like I thought. Kind of worrisome, if you ask me, because anybody who tries to stretch the field against the Niners might be damn successful at doing it. I hope that that's not true. I hope the Niners get a little bit better as far as their corners go. And I think that they will, but it is, I'm a little worried about that. But other than that, guys, I mean, special teams got better. Offense still looked pretty good, all things considered, and the defense looked really great, and the defense might carry this team this year. And that's okay, because I love defense, and defense wins championships, guys. That's the truth. That's just the truth. I mean, look no further than Baltimore back in the day. Their offense was but their defense was lights out. Now, I'm not calling the Niners defense as good as that Baltimore defense, but you know what I'm saying. Defense can keep you in the games. They can keep you in a lot of games and get you to where you need to go. Is this a Super Bowl team right now? Still no. But is it come week 10, week 11, when you have Ayuk and Kittle and Pearsall and Jennings and Christian McCaffrey all those weapons ready to go with Brock Purdy slinging the ball around? You're damn right it could be. It could very easily be. And with that defense, I think the Niners could peak at the right time. They very well could. Will they? I don't know. But we'll see. I think that there's definitely a possibility with the names on this team to take this team where they want to go. Now, we all know the Super Bowl is in San Francisco this year. Santa Clara, not San Francisco. But we all know that's where the Super Bowl is. So, let's hope maybe we end up there. With the names I just mentioned, there's no reason in the world why the Niners don't at least have a puncher's chance at getting there. We got to watch and see how we go. Make sure there's no other injuries. But if we don't get any more injuries and we move along and get these guys back, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Do not sleep on the 49ers. The rest of the NFL will sleep on the 49ers. And this is when we can make a move. But I like where they're at right now. I like where they're at a lot. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I will keep doing videos here. And hey, we're going to try and do a post podcast on Sunday if there's a chance. But definitely, I'm going to try and get back on Monday. You guys are getting at least once a week. I'm getting a podcast in. I'm trying to do more, but I'm trying to make sure at least I get the one a week in just to talk about 49er football and where we're going. Warriors, I'm going to try to get to next Wednesday. No news out of the Warriors camp. No news at all. We don't have any trades. We don't have any releases. We don't have a Jonathan Kuminga deal. We don't know what the hell he's doing. Is he going to take the $7 million deal and bet on himself? I wouldn't. I don't know why he is. I wouldn't. And if he doesn't and he takes the $40 million for 2 years or $42 million for 2 years, he's just wasted an awful lot of time the Warriors could be using to go out and sign a couple more players that maybe now they can't. So I think the way Jonathan Kuminga is handling this is kind of ridiculous. And we'll talk more about that on the Warrior Talk. But right now, I was expecting more movement out of the Warriors this offseason to try and get Curry and Butler and Green. One more shooter. Just one more shooter to hit the broadside of the barn. Haven't seen that yet, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, guys, as usual, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. I'll keep working for you. You keep watching, and I'll see you in the next one.